Good morning, and welcome to South Central Indiana REMC's 69th Annual Meeting. I'm Rex Franklin, Chairman of the Board of Directors. As a member-owned electric cooperative, your REMC has two primary responsibilities to our members: providing reliable electric service and keeping rates affordable. Your Board of Directors and management staff are intent on meeting these two responsibilities. There are, however, outside forces that are making this increasingly difficult. Our country is facing a looming energy crisis that will impact virtually everything we purchase, including the cost of electricity. The North American Reliability Council predicts U.S. demand for power will increase 18% over the next 10 years. And the U.S. Department of Energy forecasts a 40% demand increase in the next 22 years. In Indiana, Purdue University's Utility Forecasting Group predicts the need for the equivalent of 6 500-megawatt power plants in just the next 4 years. Due to a number of factors, America has not and is not adding new generation to meet this demand growth, and there will very likely soon be a shortage of supply. Generating capacity reserves are declining rapidly, and nationally are projected to fall below 10% in the next 5 to 7 years. The western third of the nation and Texas are projected to drop below targeted capacity reserves by next year, while our Midwest region is projected to drop below our targeted reserve levels by 2012. Just a little over 3 years from now. It is becoming exceedingly difficult to obtain the permits to build new generating facilities. As well, construction costs are rising dramatically, along with costs for labor, material, equipment, and design and engineering. The cost of fuel to produce power is also increasing dramatically. Coal costs have more than doubled, and the cost of natural gas has increased more than that. All of these factors are resulting in higher electric rates now and will continue to push rates up in the foreseeable future. Renewable energy sources such as wind and solar power need to be a part of our nation's energy mix, but they cannot meet the growing demand and are subject to limits that seriously impact reliability. Our power supplier, Hoosier Energy, developed a landfill methane generation renewable energy facility last year and is looking at a variety of cost-effective renewable energy options. Renewable sources don't replace the need for baseload generation. There are not enough viable sites, especially in central and southern Indiana. Wind and solar aren't available 100% of the time, and transmission constraints prevent some long-distance delivery. Some people say we can meet demand through efficiency and renewable energy. The reality is we need all the efficiency and renewable energy we can get, but that will not be enough. With limited opportunities for renewable energy in our state, Indiana will continue to rely on abundant local coal reserves for many years. To meet our nation's future energy needs, the U.S. needs extensive investments in the electric infrastructure to allow the development of new generating sources and transfer of the power to where it's needed. Our current grid was never designed for and lacks the ability to move large amounts of power from one region of the country to another. The system also lacks the capacity to add needed new generation to meet growing demand. The issue causing those who provide electricity the most concern is government legislation. Our legislators have introduced and are debating legislation designed to combat climate change. Proposals such as the Lieberman-Warner bill call for dramatic reductions in emissions. The cost impact of current legislative proposals could be overwhelming. A number of groups and agencies have looked at the future of U.S. electricity prices, and the consensus is that they are going up dramatically. The government's Congressional Budget Office estimates the annual cost of climate change legislation at $50 billion to $300 billion by the year 2020. The cost will be felt especially in states such as Indiana that rely largely on coal for power. A respected independent utility analysis firm, Charles Rivers Associates, predicts a 25% to 40% increase in U.S. retail electric rates by 2020. The government's Energy Information Administration predicts an increase in electric rates of 64% by 2030. The Purdue Forecasting Group predicts residential electric rates in Indiana will increase by 13% by 2012 and 28% by 2020. Industrial rates are projected to increase even more, 25% by 2012 and 38% by 2020. These increases for Indiana are in addition to a projected 22% increase the Purdue Group has forecasted by 2012 due to higher fuel costs, power plant construction costs, and new environmental regulations. Nationally, about 50% of electric power is generated from coal, while in Indiana, 94% of our power is generated from coal. As a result, legislation limiting coal generation will have a much greater impact on our electric rates than on those in other parts of the country. Electric cooperatives have a long history of working to protect our environment, and that commitment has not changed. But America needs a plan to meet climate change goals while also protecting the interests of consumers. We feel the current legislative proposals do not provide this balance. We support an approach with options such as energy efficiency programs to reduce the rate of growth in the demand for electricity, adding renewable energy sources to our power supply, more nuclear energy, installation of new clean coal technology at existing and new power plants, development of electric vehicles to reduce dependence on foreign oil, and installation of consumer-owned solar and wind generating equipment where it is cost-effective. By concentrating on each of these areas, cooperatives believe our country can have the power to support our economy, keep electric rates affordable, and address environmental concerns. We are striving to inform our members about the impact of legislative proposals and seek your support in helping to create an effective dialogue with elected officials about our shared concerns. To avert an energy crisis, the federal government must exercise true leadership. Without a sound, responsible plan, government risks not only the reliability of our electric system, but the ability of many Americans to be able to afford to pay their electric bill. The National Rural Electric Cooperative Association has developed a campaign called Our Energy, Our Future, a dialogue with America, to assist us in opening this discussion with elected officials. Our Chief Executive Officer, Kevin Sump, will provide more details about this important campaign in his video report. As I indicated at the beginning of my presentation, your cooperative's primary goal is to provide reliable and affordable electric service to members. Our ability to meet that goal is being challenged as never before. Your cooperative will continue to represent your best interests. Meanwhile, we encourage you to get involved. Ask the tough yet important question and let your elected officials know you are counting on them to make the right decisions. We need a plan people can live with today while we deal with the climate change problem of tomorrow. Thank you.